We've all heard the name Carmelo Anthony, an NBA legend, a Hall of Famer who spent a huge part of his career playing on the New York Knicks. But throughout his 19 seasons in the NBA, he was not able to win a championship. So in today's video, we're going to be rebuilding the 2010-11 Knicks to win Melo his first championship. And taking a look at our team, we do have ourselves Amar'e Stoudemire and Chauncey Billups beside Melo to form a big three, but the problem is Chauncey Billups 34 years old and he's probably going to start regressing, so I do have some pretty big plans. I'm planning on waiting until the up-and-coming NBA draft and bringing in Kyrie Irving to pair up with Melo. And in order for us to bring in Kyrie Irving, we are going to have to trade for that second overall pick and then draft him. But now let me show you guys our lineup. So in the starting lineup, we have ourselves Chauncey Billups, Asbuki, Carmelo Anthony, Amar'e Stoudemire, and Randolph, and this here will be our bench unit. Right now our team is a number 7 seed with 24 wins and 27 losses, so I'm going to go ahead and simulate until the end of this season, and there we'll see if we make the playoffs or not. And it looks like Carmelo Anthony is open to sign a contract extension with the Knicks, so I'm going to go ahead and extend him for the next 3 seasons, paying him about $20 million annually, and he goes on to happily accept. Chauncey Billups will also be extending him for the next 2 seasons, paying him about $13 million, or let's try to lower that to about 11.5, and it looks like he will also accept. Before we continue, we're on the road to 10,000 subscribers this summer, so if you enjoy 2K rebuilds and haven't yet subscribed, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. It really does support out the channel a ton, and while you're at it, also like the video and hype the video. So we don't end up with any awards here, but will we get ourselves any All-NBA selections? Let's find out. We should get Carmelo Anthony here somewhere, and yes we do. So Melo makes it on an All-NBA third team, and I believe that will be it for All-NBA awards. Yeah, so only Melo on an All-NBA third team. And do we get anybody here on an All-Defensive team? No, we do not. But you know what? That's okay, because this season we did end up making the playoffs as the number 6 seed, winning a total of 48 games and losing 34. Let me go ahead and show you guys the player stats for the regular season before we start simulating here in the playoffs. So our leading scorer was none other than Carmelo Anthony, averaging 28.7 rebounds and 3 assists per game. 24 and 9 from Amar'e Stoudemire, 17 and 8 from Chauncey Billups. And the fact that we only have 3 players in double-digit scoring is kind of concerning, but I mean, I did not expect this team to be a championship contender anyways. It's still going to take us a few years to build a perfect team around Melo to go out there and truly compete for a championship. But now in the first round of the playoffs, we have to take on the Boston Celtics, who are a very stacked team. They have themselves Rajon Rondo, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and Kevin Garnett. Let's go ahead and start simulating here in the playoffs to see how we do. Game number 1, we do end up losing. Kevin Garnett 24, we end up losing here 118 to 87. Billups 28, 25 from Melo, 13 from Stoudemire, but I mean, again, we only have 3 players that have been doing it all offensively. I don't think that's going to carry us very far here in the playoffs. We also end up losing game 2, 113 to 106. Melo played amazing with 31 and 11, 28 from Stoudemire, but we do fall short. Game 3, we go on to win. Game number 4, we also go on to win, and it looks like we do tie up the series. Billups had himself 34, 27 from Melo, and 20 from Stoudemire. The series is now tied at 2-2 apiece. I did not expect for us to even make it this far, but let's go ahead and simulate game number 5 to see how we do. We do end up losing game 5 here, 119 to 111. Melo still played amazing with 38 points, 24 from Stoudemire, and 17 from Billups. Are we going to get eliminated, or will we push it to a game 7? And it looks like we are going to a game 7. We end up winning game 6, 116 to 113. Stoudemire 37 and 10, 28 from Billups, and 21 from Melo. Now let's go ahead and jump into Simcast here and see what happens. We do have home court advantage for game 7, and so far we have the lead here. It looks like we may actually just eliminate, or never mind. For some reason I was tripping and I thought we were the Celtics, but it looks like we do end up getting eliminated. I'm not sure why I thought we were the Celtics there for a second, but my mind was all over the place. Melo goes on to win 35, 20 and 13 from Stoudemire, 17 from Billups, and sadly we do end up getting eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. And it does look like the Denver Nuggets have eliminated the Dallas Mavericks to make it to the second round of the playoffs, but now let's go ahead and simulate here and see who goes on to win the championship. And the Miami Heat end up winning, with Dwayne Wade winning Finals MVP. They went on to defeat the Portland Trail Blazers in Game 4. In case you guys were wondering, here are the player stats for the playoffs. Melo was averaging 28 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists per game. Alright y'all, something so annoying just happened. 2K decides to start glitching out on me in the offseason and simming past the entire NBA draft, and now Kyrie Irving has been selected by the Sacramento Kings at pick 4. But that does not matter because I'm still going to try and acquire him. We're going to go and try and pull off a trade with the Kings. But another annoying part is we had ourselves a 21st overall pick and it automatically selected Alec Burks. If I had the option, I definitely wouldn't have selected him because he's not really good at anything here, as you guys can see. But now we have to sign ourselves Alec Burks and Maxwell Wilkins, whoever he is. I have attempted to pull off every trade you could possibly think of for Kyrie Irving, but sadly the Sacramento Kings are not accepting this trade. So what I'm going to do now is try and target James Harden. And if the OKC Thunder don't accept, I'm going to do something here in free agency, possibly sign a bunch of players, trade them away for first round picks, and then we'll come back and talk with the same teams. I've shown y'all that we tried to trade for Kyrie Irving, they did not accept, but honestly I would be just as happy acquiring James Harden. If we get ourselves James Harden, that's going to break up the big three of KD, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden, which is definitely going to be a problem in the future. Let's see what the Thunder say, and they do decline. I will also throw in Uzbuki. They still say no. Is there anyone else we could throw in? Alec Burks, whose position I did change, and just like that, we bring in James Harden as our brand new starting point guard. And honestly, I'm just as happy, if not more happy, acquiring James Harden than Kyrie Irving. First of all, we broke apart OKC's big three. Now they're not going to have a big three of Harden, Russ, and KD in the future that we would have to worry about. Plus, James Harden is not a rookie, so this offseason, he's going to go up in overall a ton, which is going to make our team better than this season if we had got ourselves Kyrie Irving. Kyrie's a 79 overall, but James Harden this offseason will end up progressing at progression day, and that's only going to make our team better. But now let's see how much money we have here in free agency to spend. So we still do have quite a bit of money. We could spend about $6.4 million to go out there and sign ourselves some players. And right now, the position we are most lacking in is that shooting guard position. We don't have ourselves a single shooting guard, so that's what we're going to have to look for here in free agency. We do have enough money for Vince Carter, but honestly, he's 34 years old. He's probably going to go down in overall a ton this offseason, so I don't really want to bring him in. OG Mayo would be someone that's pretty good. He's a decent three-point shooter. Or Aaron Aflalo, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he's a good three-point shooter, good perimeter defender, so I'm going to try and bring him in. Plus, he's only 25 years old. We are able to offer Aaron Aflalo. I don't know if I'm butchering his last name. I'm sorry if I am, but we're going to go ahead and offer him a 2-year deal, paying him about $3.25 million annually. Is there any other player here that we like? Landry Fields was on our team this past season, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he was. So I do want to bring him back as well. He was a good three-point shooter. He wants about $4.2 million, which is quite a bit, but I mean, he was pretty good. He's a good three-point shooter, good perimeter defender. So I will be offering him a 2-year deal where we pay him about $4 million annually. Both players will be accepting on 2-year contracts. Hopefully we have enough money for both of them. Let's see. And it looks like the Denver Nuggets match the offer for Aaron. And since Aaron has been selected by a different team, what I'm going to do is go ahead and sign Vince Carter, but we will instantly be trading him away this offseason for a better starting shooting guard. So we do get ourselves Landry Fields and Vince Carter if we have enough money for both, and it looks like we don't have enough money for Vince Carter. Since we weren't also able to get Vince Carter, which really does suck because I was banking on for him to sign with us and then we trade him away, I'm going to go ahead and offer Shannon Brown a contract, and we'll also do the same for Daquan Cook. And then we're most likely going to be trading them away and trying to upgrade that shooting guard position. Shannon Brown decides to sign with the Detroit Pistons, but thankfully Daquan Cook does sign with our team. After signing ourselves Daquan Cook, I did change his position from shooting guard to small forward, where he has gone up to 78 overall. I threw him Maxwell Wilkins and 3 second-round picks in Trade Finder, and the Denver Nuggets are down to send us Aaron Aflalo, the player we tried acquiring in free agency. And honestly, I don't know how to say his last name, so I'm going to just go ahead and call him Aaron. So we're going to try and bring in Aaron. Well, we are going to trade for Aaron to be our brand new starting shooting guard. Our team could use a backup point guard, so I'm going to bring in Carlos Arroyo. He's a really good three-point shooter, good playmaker, good mid-range shooter, so he should be able to help out our team's offense. I'm going to go ahead and offer him a 2-year deal on a minimum contract, and let's see if he accepts. Yes, he will. So he goes on to accept on a 2-year, $1.78 million contract. Shane Battier is still a free agent, and this dude is a really good 3-and-D player. He's a good defender, good three-point shooter, so we're going to go ahead and offer him a 2-year deal, and he only wants a minimum, which he hopefully goes on to accept, and let's see if he does. So yeah, he does. We do end up getting Shane Battier as our backup power forward. And this here is amazing. We're here at player progression day and James Harden has jumped up 7 in overall, now making him an 88 overall. This is exactly what I had hoped for when acquiring him, and now we got ourselves a big three of James Harden, Amar'e Stoudemire, and Carmelo Anthony. Alrighty, here we are at the start of this season with our brand new rotation. So in the starting lineup, we have ourselves James Harden, Aaron Aflalo, Carmelo Anthony, Amar'e Stoudemire, and Anthony Randolph. Off the bench, we have Landry Fields, Shane Battier, Ronnie, and Carlos Arroyo. And honestly, I really like how our team is looking. A position we could upgrade is definitely the center position, but I am happy with the players and additions we've made this offseason. Let's go ahead and simulate the first week of this season. So the first game is up against the Nets, who we end up losing to 133 to 125. Melo had 38, 29 from Stoudemire, 17 from James Harden. Can we at least get one win in this week? And yes, we can. Not one, but 2 wins. And we scored 141 points here against the Raptors, where Melo had himself 46 points, Harden with 24 and 11, 19 from Fields, and 13 from Stoudemire. In the off-season, when the 2K simulator glitched and simulated past the NBA draft, it also simmed past staff signing, so it automatically selected Frank Vogel as our brand new head coach, and honestly I'm okay with that. So this season we will be rolling with a 3.5 star overall system proficiency balanced under our brand new head coach Frank Vogel. And now I'm going to go ahead and simulate until the end of this season, but if there's any trades to be made, I will be stopping at the trade deadline to show you all. We're stopped here contract extension day, and I'm going to go ahead and extend Anthony Randolph. He does want quite a bit of money, $5 million annually over the next 3 seasons. Let's go ahead and extend him. I may trade him this coming off season. I'm not too sure. We're going to look at what trades we could pull off. Ronnie also wants a contract extension. He only wants a minimum, so we'll go ahead and extend him for the next season. And now I'll see you all at the end of this season. At the end of this season, the Brody, Russell Westbrook goes on to win MVP, Isaiah Thomas Rookie of the Year, Lewis Williams winning 6th Man of the Year, Lou Williams winning 6th Man, Tim Duncan Defensive Player of the Year, James Harden, our boy, goes on to win Most Improved Player, averaging 23.5 points per game with 9 assists on 50, 40, 89 shooting split. Scott Brooks Coach of the Year, and we go on to win Executive of the Year. Let's see if we get ourselves any All-NBA selections. We do land Carmelo Anthony on All-NBA second team. We also get James Harden on All-NBA second team. That is what I'm talking about. Do we get any more awards here? Let's see, and it looks like we don't. But we did end this season as a number 3 seed, winning a total of 61 games and losing only 21. We were tied for the number 1 seed with the Miami Heat and Chicago Bulls. All the top 3 teams won a total of 61 games. We played absolutely phenomenal. And now let me show you guys the player stats for the regular season. So our leading scorer was none other than Carmelo Anthony, averaging 32 points per game, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. I'm not sure how he didn't go on to make an All-NBA first team because these numbers are unreal on 50, 44, 81 shooting splits. Amar'e Stoudemire was averaging 24 and 9. James Harden was phenomenal as our starting point guard, averaging 24 and 9, 11 from Landry Fields, and 11 from Aaron Aflalo. And now in the first round of the playoffs, we are taking on the Atlanta Hawks, who have themselves Jeff Teague, Joe Johnson, Marvin, Josh Smith, and Al Horford. Pretty good team. They were the number 6 seed. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Harden going off here for 32 points, 32 from Melo, 24 and 11 from Stoudemire. And it looks like the OKC Thunder did make it as the number 1 seed after trading away James Harden. So now they have Russ, Chauncey Billups, and KD as the number 1 seed. But let's continue here and see how game number 2 goes, and we do go on to lose game 2, 131 to 115. Harden played amazing, so did Melo and Stoudemire, but sadly we do fall short. And I was thinking if there's something we upgrade this offseason, it's definitely going to be our defense, because I don't think our team is a good defensive team. We were amazing offensively, but our defense was struggling. Game number 3, we also go on to lose 126 to 104. Harden 28-11, 20 and 10 from Stoudemire, 19-10 from Melo. If we end up getting eliminated in here in the first round, that'll suck, but I mean, I don't know. I do think this team has a chance to win a championship, but let's see how things go. We do go on to win game number 4. Thankfully, we do win here by 1 single point. Melo dropping 27, 22 from Stoudemire, 21 and 11 from James Harden. Can we go up 3-2? And yes, we can. Melo goes off here for 45 points, 30 from Stoudemire, 23 and 13 from James Harden. Time for game 6, and we go on to eliminate the Atlanta Hawks in game 6. So far in the playoffs, Harden is averaging 26 points with 10 assists, 9 from Aaron, 33 from Melo, 22 and 10 from Amari Stoudemire. And now in the second round of the playoffs, it looks like we're taking on the New Jersey Nets. They have themselves Devin Harris. I'm not sure why this dude here kind of looked like Seth Curry there for a second. J.R. Smith, Jess, Derek Favors, and Brooke Lopez. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1, we do end up losing 129 to 112. Melo played amazing, but sadly we do fall short. Game number 2, we go on to win 115 to 106. Melo dropping 40 points. This man has been balling out, averaging 35 points per game in the playoffs. Game number 3, we do end up winning. Melo 26, 25 Harden, and 23 Stoudemire. Game number 4, we go on to win, putting us up 3-1, and we eliminate the New Jersey Nets in Game 5. And now we've made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, where we have to take on our toughest opponent yet, LeBron James and the Miami Heat. I did end up simulating the first 2 games. This entire time I had thought that I was recording, but thankfully I realized I was not. So we did go on to win game number 1, but game 2 the Miami Heat won 144 to 131. Melo played amazing, dropping 47 points, Harden with 29 and 12. Can we go on to win game 3? Let's see, and no we cannot. We do end up falling short here, going down 2-1. Melo played amazing, so did Stoudemire and Harden, but our defense was pretty awful. Game number 4, we do end up winning and tying up the series. Harden going off here for 31 points. Melo 31 and 11, Stoudemire 21 and 9. And now let's see what happens here in game 5. We do end up falling short in overtime, 136 to 131. LeBron went off here for 45 points. Melo 31, 29 from Stoudemire. Can we push to game 7? We're in a winner-go-home situation here, and sadly we do end up getting eliminated to the Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals. I do have some plans for this offseason. There's 2 positions I would like to upgrade, one of them being the shooting guard and the second our new starting center. I'm going to look to upgrade these positions because we definitely need to get some better defenders in on our team. That's a big category we've been struggling with, so we're going to look to upgrade our defense. But now, in the NBA Finals, we have the Miami Heat taking on the San Antonio Spurs. Let's see which team goes on to win the NBA Championship, and it will be the Spurs sweeping the Miami Heat with Tim Duncan winning Finals MVP. As you guys can see here with the playoff stats, Melo, Harden, and Amari Stoudemire, all 3 were phenomenal, but the supporting cast not so much. So I'm going to look to bring in some more depth, some better defenders, and then hopefully we could go out there and win a championship next year. First things first, we're going to try and upgrade our center position by sending the Portland Trailblazers Anthony Randolph for Greg Oden. Greg Oden's one of the best rebounders in the league per 36 minutes, 15 rebounds per game with nearly 3 blocks. They do decline, so I will go ahead and throw in a bunch of second-round picks. 3 second-round picks, they still decline. What if we throw in a first-round pick instead of those seconds? And just like that, we land ourselves Greg Oden as a brand new starting center. Is there a way we could bring in Klay Thompson to be our brand new starting shooting guard? He was in his rookie season averaging 18 points per game, shooting nearly 40% from the 3-point line. Plus this offseason, he's going to end up progressing in overall, jumping up a ton. So let's see what the Charlotte Bobcats say if we offer them Aaron and Landry Fields for Klay Thompson. They do decline. I will throw in a bunch of second round picks, and it looks like we're not getting Klay, but I am going to try and target him once again in free agency. That's because I'm going to go ahead and sign a bunch of players, trade them away for first round picks, and then we'll come back and talk with the Bobcats. And we actually have some players right now that we could trade away for some first round picks and then try and trade for Klay. So I'm going to go ahead and try and pull off this trade with the Clippers, sending them one of our players and a second round pick. In return, we bring in a 2014 top 3 protected first round pick. I'm also going to try and trade away Ronnie here. He should be able to get us back a first round pick, which he can, from the Washington Wizards. And now let's go talk with the Bobcats and see if we could get Klay Thompson. We're back here talking with the Bobcats now with our first round pick. So I'm going to go ahead and offer the Bobcats Aaron, Carlos Arroyo, and 2 first round picks for Klay Thompson. They do say no. If they continue declining, I will throw in the other player we threw in before. Which player was that again? Let me check here. So that player was Landry Fields. Okay, so now let's see if we can make this happen. We will take Carlos out and throw in the first round pick. 1 first round pick does not get it done. 2 first round picks, still no Klay Thompson. Okay, there we go. So we just landed Klay Thompson, sending away 2 first round picks, 2 second round picks, Landry Fields, and I forgot who the first player was. Let's go here to transaction and double check that. So the exact trade we pulled off here was sending the Bobcats Aaron Aflalo, Landry Fields, 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks. In return, we bring in Klay Thompson as our brand new starting shooting guard. Let's go. We are going to go ahead and fire Frank Vogel, and that's because there's a lot of better options we could get right now. Like Brian Shaw, we're going to go ahead and give an offer to. Hopefully he accepts, and there's another coach that I would like to give an offer to. Let's go up here, and where did he go? Phil Jackson, where are you, my friend? There he is. So right now he does have 10 offers. He's a really good head coach. Let's go ahead and offer him the most amount of money we possibly can, which is $9.5 million annually. Will he accept? And yes, he will. So we land ourselves Phil Jackson as our brand new head coach. For team player options, I will be picking up the team option for James Harden. Gary Forbes, we don't really need him on this team. We haven't played him at all, so we're going to let him walk. Qualifying offers, do we need to re-sign anyone? It doesn't look like we're going to have to re-sign anyone, which is amazing. How much money do we have here in free agency? And that's okay, so we could spend about $5.3 million. Have enough money to bring in George Hill if we wish to. So right now our team is in need of a backup center, so we're going to go ahead and sign Marcus Camby here. He only wants a minimum. He's a good defender, good rebounder, so let's go ahead and offer him a 1-year minimum, which hopefully he accepts. I'm also going to try and bring in George Hill. Having him as our 6th man will be amazing for our bench unit scoring, so I'm going to go ahead and offer him a 4-year deal, paying him about $5 million annually. It looks like George Hill will be accepting on a 4-year, $21 million contract. Marcus Camby, 1 year, $866,000. Do we have enough money for both players? And yes, we do. I'm not gonna lie, in 2K Brandon Rush, there's times where he progresses really good. He's a good 3-point shooter, amazing defender, so I'm gonna try and bring him in. He only wants a minimum. Well, I'll give him a 2-year offer, which hopefully he accepts, and we could change his position from shooting guard to small forward, where he will jump up in overall. And he does end up accepting. I'm also gonna go ahead and throw James Jones a contract. Really good 3-point shooter. Will he accept? And yes, he will. I feel like we have the perfect starting lineup here. James Harden, Klay Thompson, Carmelo Anthony, Amari Stoudemire, and Greg Oden. Our bench this year is stacked as well with George Hill, Brandon Rush, Marcus Camby, and Shane Battier. There was a ton of progression from our younger players, especially James Harden, who jumped up all the way to a 94 overall. Klay Thompson jumping up to an 84. And now let's go ahead and simulate the first few games of this season to see how we do. The first game is up against the Nets, who we end up defeating 131-110. Melo 27, 25 from Klay, 20 and 11 from James Harden. Can we also defeat the Raptors and the OKC Thunder? We do defeat the Raptors but lose to the Thunder. We scored 136 against the Raptors, Melo 32, Greg Oden 22 and 13, James Harden with 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 17 assists. This season we will be rolling with a 3.5-star overall system proficiency balance under our brand new head coach Phil Jackson. I am now going to go ahead and simulate until the end of this season, but of course if there are any trades to be made, I will be stopping at the trade deadline to show you all. At the end of this season, the Brody, Russell Westbrook goes on to win a back-to-back MVP, Anthony Davis Rookie of the Year, Raymond Felton wins 6-man Defensive Player goes to Dwight Howard, Eric Maynard Most Improved, Phil Jackson, our head coach wins Coach of the Year, and we also win Executive. Let's see if we get ourselves any All-NBA selections here, and we do land Carmelo Anthony on an All-NBA 3rd team. What about on an all-defensive team? So it looks like we only get Melo on an all-NBA 3rd team, but we ended this season as the number 1 seed, winning a total of 67 games and losing only 15. We were absolutely unstoppable, and again, I feel like this is going to be the playoffs where we go on to win a championship. Let's take a look at player stats here. So our leading scorer once again was Melo, averaging 29 points per game, 6.5 rebounds, 3 assists. 22 and 9 from Harden, 18 from Klay Thompson, 18 from Stoudemire, 12 from George Hill, and 10 and 10 from Greg Oden. Our team did have the number 1 best offensive rating and the number 1 best defensive rating. Last year, I believe we had the 15th or 16th best defensive rating, so our defense has gotten really good. And now it is time for the playoffs, and in the first round, we have to take on the Atlanta Hawks. They have themselves Jeff Teague, Joe Johnson, Marvin, Josh Smith, and Al Horford. I'm pretty sure this is the same team we eliminated last year in the first round. Alrighty, let's see how we do here in the first round of the playoffs. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Melo 25 and 10, 24 from Harden, 23 and 13 from Stoudemire. Game number 2, we also go on to win. Melo 34, 23, and 11 from Harden. Game number 3, we were up 3-0, and we go on to sweep the Atlanta Hawks. So far here in the playoffs, Harden is averaging 25, 17 from Clay, 26 from Melo, and 17 from Stoudemire. And now we have made it to the second round of the playoffs. We have to take on the Brooklyn Nets, who have themselves Jordan Farmer, J.R. Smith, Jay Crowder, Derek Favors, and Brook Lopez. They were the number 4 seed. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Stoudemire 28 and 11, 23 from Harden, and 21 from Melo. We do end up losing game 2. We win game 3. We also win game 4, and we go on a gentleman's sweep, the Brooklyn Nets. And now in the Eastern Conference Finals, it looks like the Bulls have eliminated the Miami Heat, so we have to take on the number 2 seeded Chicago Bulls, and they have themselves a really good team. Prime Derrick Rose, Luol Deng, Carlos Boozer, and Prime Joakim Noah. Let's see how things go here in the Eastern Conference Finals. Game number 1, we do end up losing, and you know what? I'm not even going to risk it. I'm going to come up with a defensive coach game plan. I want Klay Thompson or one of our best defenders guarding Derrick Rose at all times. Alrighty, a defensive coach game plan has now been set. Let's jump into Simcast and see if we could tie up the series. We do have home court advantage on our side, and so far we do have the lead, and it looks like we will be winning 141-118. Klay Thompson with 43 points, 25 from Melo, and 22 from Stoudemire. How did D-Rose play? I mean, 7 of 17, so Klay did his thing defensively. Can we also go on to win game 3? The Bulls will have home court advantage here, and so far they do have the lead, and it looks like we are going to fall short, 132-99. Melo 34, 19 from Stoudemire, and 12 from George Hill. We are down 2-1. Let's see if we could push back here in game 4. The Bulls do have home court advantage, and so far we start off the first half really strong. We scored 90 points in the first 2 quarters, and it looks like we will be winning 141-94. Klay Thompson going off for 45 points, hitting 10 3-pointers. I don't know what it is with him and the Bulls, but whenever he goes out there, he ends up doing very well. 45 points, 26 from Melo, 21 and 13 from Harden. And now we have tied up the series 2-2 apiece. Let's go ahead and jump into Simcast here, where we do have home court advantage. We do have the lead here in the first half, and it looks like we will be winning 143-117. And in this game, it was Harden going off for 55 points. Let's go. 22 from Melo and 21 from Klay. That is what I'm talking about. Can we close things out here in game 6? The Bulls do have home court advantage. And so far, we do start off the first half really strong, and it looks like we will be winning 120-101. In this game, it was Melo going off for 39 points, 21 from Stoudemire, and 17 from Brendan Rush. And now we have finally made it to the NBA Finals. We are taking on the Memphis Grizzlies, who have themselves Mike Conley, Odo, Rudy Gay, Zach Randolph, and Marc Gasol. So let's see how things go here. Game number 1, we do end up falling short. What seed were the Memphis Grizzlies? So it looks like the Grizzlies were the number 2 seed. Game number 2, we do go on to win. Melo 25, 23 from Harden, and 21 from Greg Oden. Game 3, we do go on to win. Let's go. Harden going off here for 27, 25 Melo, 24 Klay. Can we also go on to win game number 4? And yes, we can, putting us up 3-1. Melo dropping 38 points, 28 from Stoudemire, and 22 from James Harden. Let's see if we can close things out here in game 5. And just like that, we go on to win the New York Knicks a championship with James Harden winning Finals MVP. He was averaging 24.5 points per game. And honestly, they should go to Melo. He was averaging 27 points per game. I usually never change this in videos, but today we have to. So Melo goes on to win Finals MVP, averaging 27 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. And honestly, I'm not even sure why I had to change that. That's pretty obvious that Melo should have won Finals MVP. That should have already been there by itself, but I guess it wasn't. So here are the player stats before we end out this video for the playoffs. We played a total of 20 games, and in those 20 games, the leading scorer was none other than Melo, averaging 28.5 points per game, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. James Harden was amazing as well, averaging 23 points, 8 assists, 19 from Klay, 15 from Stoudemire, and 11 from George Hill. And then in the NBA Finals, we played a total of 5 games. In those 5 games, the leading scorer was none other than Carmelo Anthony, averaging 27.5 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. 24 from Harden, 15 from Clay, 14 from Sotomayor, and 13 from Greg Oden. And that is going to be it for today. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new for more NBA 2K26 videos, and click here on the screen to watch my latest upload. Until next time, it's your boy Dragon, and I'm out. Peace.